All right, thanks so much for joining us again. Just kind of working out some technical issues. As we mentioned, running a bit of a skeleton crew up here in the booth. Big thanks to Ashton Little and Austin Jameson for sorting out those technical issues. We should have our scoreboard up and a higher quality stream rate. If you're just joining us, Lakers are heading into the second set against the visiting Fundy Mariners here in the David McMullen Gymnasium. Girls just getting all the numbers checked and whatnot. Mariners took the first set by a score of 25-12. So Lakers have their work cut out for them this evening if they're looking to come away with the overall victory. Alice McDonald sends it directly back over. Natalie Bernard at the net front looking for an easy point, but the Mariners are there. Nice work by Bia Toreen. And now it's the Mariners sending it directly back. Elise Cheney at the net front scores the first point for the visitors. Chloe Kamek, wearing number 9 for the visitors, back to serve. That catches the top of the net, though, so we're all tied up at 1. And, it is the Mariners who have the 1-0 set victory. Or lead, rather. Pass by Torin, gets that over to Tatum Fraser, who sends it. Maddie Chisholm will send that directly over, usually in the setter position. But showing some good utility there. Natalie Bernard at the net front gets hands on that. Maddie Chisholm again sending it over. Tatum setting it up for Cheney, but Ava Grieve from the back row has that. Here's Riley DeMerchant with a cross-court hit. Madeline Boone is there, though. Tatum getting that. Haley Messer from the back row. Maddie Chisholm with the pass. Natalie Bernard gets a hit. Sneaks past Whippy. And after that extended rally, it's the Lakers coming up with the point. They lead 2-1. Here's Ava Grieve. Her first service of this second set. Might have been going out, but Elise Cheney keeps it alive. Sent over by Tatum Fraser. Haley Messer gets it to Maddie Chisholm. Nice hit from Natalie Bernard, but that is fielded by McCullough. Tatum Fraser at the front of the net sneaks it over the defenders. Gets it into the second level. All tied up at 2. Here's Bia Torian. Alice McDonald gets that over to Maddie Chisholm. Riley DeMerchant with a nice cross-court hit, but that's fielded by the Mariners. Third hit from Whippy, rather. Natalie Bernard sends it over, but Torian's there. Whippy gets it back to her squad mates. Fraser sends it over, but Haley Messer keeps it alive. Maddie Chisholm sends it back into Natalie Bernard for a hit. McCullough from the libero position. Or no, check that. That is number 13. Not quite sure who that is. She's not on our roster. So 2 liberos currently for the Mariners. Came prepared with 2 extra jerseys. They take this stuff seriously. Service from Chisholm falls short, so we're all tied up at 3. Here's Tatum Fraser for the blue and white. Ball's up. Haley Messer is there. Maddie Chisholm with the pass. Natalie Bernard winds up for a nice hit. Boone gets hands on it. Tatum Fraser can't quite direct that back to friendly territory. And so Lakers score off Natalie Bernard's hit. They take a 4-3 lead as she goes back to serve. Wearing number 10. And I believe her first game of the season here in the David McMullen Gymnasium. Nice service from Bernard, fielded by Boone, but that goes wide. Lot of power on that service as that finds the floor on the Mariners side. Natalie Bernard going back for another one now. 5-3 here in the early going. As you see off that scoreboard that's now active. Tough break service falls out of bounds. And so the Mariners take over. They trail by 1. Libero checks out, and number 9, Chloe Kamek, checks in. Another substitution as well. Coaches Whippy and Ingalls not shy about their mid-game substitutions. They do have quite the long bench. Although it seems like maybe the Liberos only play 1 game each, but the rest of the girls seem to rotate through nicely. Chisholm sending that back. That falls out of bounds. Smart call by the Mariners. They tie things up. Darquise Lecomte back for her second service. Here comes the ball. Haley Messer gets that to Maddie Chisholm. who sends it directly over on the second hit. Maddie Boone looking for a hit. She scored a few in that first set. Caught the top of the net this time. So Lakers up 6-5. Very tight back and forth affair here in the second set. Maddie Chisholm with the pass. Lauren Peasy's going to hit that. Tatum Fraser gets it over to the libero. And it's Koenig setting it over. Ava Grieve winding up for a big hit. Nicely fielded by Fraser. Sent directly back. Good hustle by McDonald and Chisholm to get back there. Here's Haley Messer. Gets that to Chisholm. Ava Grieve with another cross-court hit. That's blocked at the net front by Kamek and Whippy. Mariners seem to be winning that net front battle. They've got quite a few players recording blocks. Unfortunately, Charlie and Joe Gregory, our usual stat wizards, unable to join us tonight. You'll have to do a bit of stat keeping yourselves. Nice hit from Lauren Peasy. That's sent directly over by Whippy. And that might have been going out of bounds, but the Lakers did play it. So the Mariners with a 7-6 lead. Here's Whippy again. Haley Messer fields that nicely. Alice McDonald diving to grab that. Doesn't quite go high enough, though, and bounces low off her back and hits the floor. So Mariners up by 2. Service by Whippy. Chisholm looking to field that. Gets the wrong angle on it and sends it backwards. So 9-6. This is about where the Mariners pulled ahead in the first set, too. So Lakers will look to break up the momentum. Haley Messer gets that to Alice McDonald. Lauren Peasy's going to send it over. Ooh, ball missed the rafters. It was looking close, but unfortunately falls out of bounds. And it will be the Mariners scoring again. Whippy looking for her 5th point now. Strong service. There's Haley Messer. Alice McDonald with the pass, and Ava Grieve's going to send it back. Tatum with the one-handed hit. Here's nice misdirection there by Ava Grieve. Looked like she was winding up for a hit. Sent directly back to Grieve. She makes no mistake. Finding a hole in the back row and scoring a point, breaking up the momentum. So Lakers down by 3, 7-10. Here's Alice McDonald. Nice service. That's sent directly back by Fraser. Haley Messer with the second hit, and Lauren Peasy's going to send that directly over. Rare miscommunication for the Mariners as both Whippy and the libero dive in for that, as you can see on the instant replay. 8-10 is your score. Here's another nice service from McDonald. Whippy in the back row gets it to Tatum. Maddie Boone's going to send it, but the whistle sounds. We've got a double hit, as referees Roy and Hamilton will call that one. 9-10 now. So Lakers have done well keeping this one close. Here's Torion with the service. There's a hit from Boone. That was fielded by DeMerchant. Not sure what the call is there. The point went to the Mariners. I must have missed the hand signal. Here's Boone with the hit. There's DeMerchant. That will fall into the stands. And 9-12 now. Mariners maintain their lead. Here's Boone again. Had a bit of a run in the first set. DeMerchant from the back row. Alice McDonald gets it over to Ava Grieve. That might have been going out of bounds, but it is played. Francoise Whippy almost scored a basket there as that ball went high into the net. Did not fall in, though. Lakers take the point 10-12. Basketball nets playing a role yet again in the Lakers' success. There's Torion. Gets that over to Tatum Fraser, who sends it over. Lakers diving around, can't quite get to that in time. As we got another substitution there. Darquise LeConte grabs some rest, and Elise Cheney is going to replace her. Haley Messer can't quite get there in time. Chloe Kamek's service is good. 14-10 now. Kamek looks for another. Haley Messer getting that up to Maddie Chisholm. Natalie Bernard with a nice hit. Looked to go cross court, but sent that short side. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but either way, it worked out. Lakers get the ball back. Here's Ava Grieve back to serve. 11-14 is your score. Big thanks to minor officials Aaliyah Nesteruk and Delaney McElwain for keeping us in the loop. Nice dive by Riley DeMerchant saving that. McDonald gets it to Grieve, who sends it over. Here's Whippy. Over to Torion, and at the front of the net, Fraser has the wrong angle on that, sending it back instead of forward, so the Lakers will score. 12-14, keeping it close here in the second set. If you're just joining us, they did drop the first by a score of 25-12. So, doing significantly better this time round. 13-14 now. Lakers pull to within one. Grieve looks to tie things up. It's a service, nice and low. Maddie Boone fields that, gets it to Torion, and Tatum Fraser's hit from midcourt will catch the top of the net, and we are all tied up, 14 all. Here's Grieve again. Oh, fielded nicely by Whippy. I didn't think that was going over, but it did. Direct response. I don't think the Lakers are ready for that. Had to scramble to get into position. And so it will be the Mariners who score. Here's Bea Torion back to serve. That catches the top of the net and falls short. So 15 all. Chisholm back now. Ball is up. That will catch the top of the net as well. So 16-15 in favor of the visiting Fundy Mariners. Here's Tatum Fraser. Nice service fielded by McDonald. Riley DeMerchant sends it back to friends, and Maddie Chisholm will send that over. Here's Torion. Maddie Boone sends it, but Maddie Chisholm is there. Natalie Bernard with the pass, and Chisholm sending it to the back row. Libero is there. Torion gets it back to the libero. Ooh. Tough angle for a back row hit. That falls short. And we're all tied up again, 16 all. Natalie Bernard back to serve. Serve is up. Maddie Boone fields that, gets it to Torion. Boone with the hit. Grieve got hands on it, but I don't know if that was intentional. More just protected her face than directed it anywhere. Boone's had a few pretty deadly hits. Got to watch out for those. We have another exchange. Cheney out and LeConte in. Here's Darquise LeConte. Low service gets to Haley Messer. Messer tried to send it directly back. That caught the top of the net. So 16-18 is your score. Fundy's been leading most of the way, but it is a solid back and forth affair. Lakers never letting them get too far ahead. That ball fielded out of bounds. So LeConte scores again. Got some encouragement from the stands. Big thanks to Aaliyah Nesteruk and Delaney McElwain as Nesteruk shows everyone the score. There's Grieve with the backcourt hit. That's fielded. It would have been out of bounds. Can't remember if the rule is if it hits the line, it's out, or if it hits the line, it's in. But either way, it was a close call, but goes the Lakers' way. Riley DeMerchant with the service. That's fielded by Whippy. Whippy with the hit now, but back to DeMerchant. Maddie Chisholm sets up Ava Grieve for a cross-court hit. Libero is there, though. Torian with a one-handed set for Whippy. Nice work by Torian. She's done a few of those in motion. In the back row now, though. Does send it directly over. Haley Messer gets that over to Maddie Chisholm. Lauren Peasy will send it back. Here's the lib. Nice exchange here. Torian with the set for Maddie Boone, but Haley Messer's there on that hit. Setting up Ava Grieve cross-court. Francois Whippy and Chloe Kamek there at the front of the net. And we've seen a few of these extended rallies end that same way. Fundy definitely winning the net front battle here. 20-17. Here's Whippy. Maddie Chisholm fielding that over to Grieve. Lauren Peasy's going to send it to the back row. Libero gets it to Torion. Kamek will send it. Messer with the diving play makes contact but can't quite get under it. And it is 17-21 now. Here's Whippy's service again. Messer fielding. Ava Grieve passes up to Lauren Peasy. Finds a soft spot in the back corner. And gets the ball back for her squad. 18-21. Still anyone's game, although the Mariners are closer than the Lakers to that magic number of 25. Alice McDonald looks to change that. Had a bit of a run. Nice work at the front of the net there for the Mariners. They do get it over. Lauren Peasy sends it back. Here's Grieve with a hit. And that goes the Lakers' way. Must have just fallen in there at the corner. Surprised with the referees. They don't have anyone in the back line. Seems like a smart place to watch. It's, Lakers figure out the personnel there. Not quite sure what was going on. Natalie Bernard almost checked in, but not quite. McDonald's service falls low. 19-22 now. Here's Maddie Boone. She's scored a few, but that service is low, so 20-22. And now Bernard checks in. Messer, as the libero can't rotate to the front of the net. So just a bit of confusion when that rotation actually happens. Lauren Peasy with the nice service. That's fielded by Boone. Good work at the front of the net by Bernard. Sent it directly over. Chloe Kamek dove to keep that in play, but sent it under the net. So 21-22 now. Exciting finish. Here's Lauren Peasy. Tough break for the Lakers. That one catches the top of the net. 21-23. So we have another substitution. LeConte is out and Cheney is in. Looks like almost another libero situation where LeConte seems to do a lot of the serving and Cheney a lot of the net front defense. There's Chisholm getting that for a cross-court hit. Ava Grieve. Lakers switching up the angles there as Grieve coming from the right-hand side. Nice work by the Lakers. Grieve finds a soft spot. It is her service. Lakers down by 3, but she's had a few runs in the past in this gymnasium. We'll see if she can get some more. Oh, tough break as the hit from Tatum Fraser is a little too tough to handle for the Lakers. 24-22 is your score. Set point now on the hands of Bea Torion. Torion service. Alice McDonald can't quite field that. And a hard-fought set. 22-25 is your final score in favor of the Mariners. So Lakers keeping that one very close. Showing the girls that, or showing these visiting Mariner girls that Lakers won't roll over that easy. So while they are down 2-0, definitely some winnable sets ahead. Hopefully starting with this next one. And as we take a break here, we'll shout out all the folks who have made the evening possible. Big thanks, as always, to our tech crew up here, Ashton Little and Austin Jameson, keeping you in focus and up to date with the scoreboard. Our minor officials for this evening are Aaliyah Nestoruk running the scoreboard and Delaney McElwain keeping track of things on the score sheet. Head referee Jack Roy is keeping an eye on things from his perch at the side of the net. And it is John Hamilton down in the trenches keeping an eye on things on the far sideline. Big thanks as well to folks from behind the scenes, Krista Collicott, Don Fletcher, Tina Noble, and all the other folks who have helped make these broadcasts possible. While the senior girls are hosting the Mariners here, the senior boys have taken their place. Senior boys traveling to Fundy tonight to take on the Mariners. I'm going to assume these teams are in the same league. I'm not up to date on what the league divisions are, but Fundy seems to pop up on our schedule a decent amount. That is Fundy Middle and High School in St. George. So hopefully the boys are doing well, and they'll have a similar exchange later in the season where they will host the Fundy senior boys as the senior girls head down there. We'll read you a bit of the schedule at the next break. It is a short week. This is the only home game for the Lakers this week. I might as well read it now. Next week, there will be games on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, as the junior girls host Fundy at 6 on Monday, the senior boys host St. Stephen on Tuesday, and is the senior boys again closing out the week on Thursday, April 14th against Hampton. All those games starting at 6 p.m., and we look forward to bringing them to you here on the Harvey Lakers YouTube channel. For now, the girls get set for this third set. This is do or die, as the Mariners ahead 2-0. If you're just joining us, the Mariners took the first one quite comfortably by a score of 25-12, but the Lakers stayed in that last one, gave us a really entertaining set with a lot of back-and-forth rallies. Fundy maintained a 1 to 3 point lead throughout the duration. The Lakers tying it up, but couldn't quite finish things off, and ultimately falling to the visitors 22-25. We'll see what coaches Messer and DeMerchant were able to sort out at the break. It is the Lakers starting with the ball. Ava Grieve is going to get things started in this third set. A must-win for the senior girls. Good start with a solid service. Torion from the setter's position. Hit back, but Haley Messer was ready. There's Torion again, looking for Tatum Fraser. Fraser can't quite get it over. A great start for the Lakers. After that rally, they're up 1-0. Grieve goes back to serve again, wearing number 5 for the green and gold. Nice low serve. Sends Whippy and Kamek to the deck. Not quite sure who was going to grab that. Neither one did. Lakers up 2-0. Here's another great service. This time Whippy gets that nicely. Tatum Fraser looking for the hit. Grieve with the diving play. Can't angle that up as much as she'd like. Sends it directly under the net. And over to the Mariners side, who trail 1-2 here in the early going of the third set. Here's Bea Torion. Gets that back to Haley Messer. Maddie Chisholm setting things up for Natalie Bernard, but Whippy is there. Torion with the set. Whippy with the mid-range hit. Lauren Peasy with the pass to Natalie Bernard. Riley DeMerchant will send it back, but Libero May McCullough has that big hit from Fraser. That goes cross-court, but falls out of bounds. So Lakers up 3-1 now, as I believe it will be Chisholm back to serve for the Lakers. Getting some kind of signal from the bench. Not sure if that was strategic or just some words of encouragement. Either way, service comes over to Whippy. Torion gets that, looking for Fraser. Fraser's hit catches the top of the net, and the Lakers take a 3-point lead. Nice start in this must-win situation. We remind you that the Mariners have 5 players on their bench for a total of 11 dressed. Lakers only 8. So it will be a full team effort, and the girls will have to really gut this out if they want to win. 2-4 is the score. They are in the lead in the early going. Here's Fraser with the serve. Messer fields that nicely. Haley with the pass up, and Ava Grieve's going to send it to the back row. McCullough gets it up to Torion. Whippy with the hit, but Messer is there. Chisholm setting up Natalie Bernard with a nice hit. Looks like Kamek might have gotten hands on that diving play from Torion. Unable to keep that in bounds. So Lakers up 2-5 as it is Bernard again. That's happened quite a bit. Bernard making the hit from the front of the court and then going back to serve. Service falls out of bounds. Mariners wise to let that roll. So 3-5 is the score. Chloe Kamek looks to pull to within 1. Service is up. A little bit of confusion there. Falls in the second level. And Haley Messer from the lib position can't quite get there in time. Not quite sure what the coverage looks like for a volleyball court, but potentially a lot of space to cover in that back row. And it's a lot easier to run forward than backwards, so tendency to play back can put you in a bit of a pickle if you get things just over the front row. 6-4 is your score in favor of the Lakers. Torion caught a bit of the net there, I believe. So Riley DeMerchant gets another kick at the can. 7-4 is the score in favor of the home side. Fielded by Ingles. Torion gets it over to Whippy, but Messer is there. Direct response. Cheney from the front gets it to Whippy. Cheney again will send it over, but Lauren Haley gets it to Maddie Chisholm. Ava Grieve with a big hit. Mariners almost keep that alive. Diving play from McCullough. Torion got hands on that, but ultimately couldn't get that third hit. Great play, never say die from the Mariners. Riley DeMerchant with her third service. Torion setting things up. Cheney with the hit. And, Mariners celebrating, but believe things caught the net as referees John Hamilton and Jack Roy make the call there. So Lakers get away with one. It's DeMerchant looking for her fourth. Couldn't quite convert. So 5-9 is your score. As we go back to Francoise Whippy. Service is up to Merchant. Getting that back, and a bit of confusion there. Lauren Haley pulling up at the last minute. Not sure what happened there. 6-9 is your score in favor of the Lakers in this must-win third set. Ball is up. And that's going to fall on the Mariners' side. So it is the Lakers leading as we move into double digits. They're up 10-6. Service from Haley, fielded by Ingles. Ingles with the hit again, but Haley Messer is there from the lib position. Lauren Peasy's going to send that over. Whippy with the direct response. Nice play from her knees. That looks like it might have fallen down, but Torian gets under that to a back row hit for Tatum Fraser. I don't know if the Lakers are ready for that. Thought they had it. Yeah. As coaches Messer and DeMerchant tell the girls to be less spectator and more player. Ava Grieve gets that, and Riley DeMerchant over to Maddie Chisholm, who will send it to Ingles. Torion gets it. Fraser with the hit. And again, bit of breakdown in coverage there as the Mariners are able to score. 8-10 is your score. So Mariners starting to pull back. Service from Ingles catches the top of the net. So Lakers get a point there. As Libero Messer checks out and Natalie Bernard checks in to guard the front of that net. Lauren Peasy's serve sneaks over. Cheney keeps it alive. Fraser with the hit. Here's Maddie Chisholm with the pass. Ava Grieve has a big hit. And Libero McCullough can't get there in time. So Peasy with another service. 12-8 is your score. In favor of the green and gold. Cheney fields that. Torion. Nice misdirection there. Usually in the setter's position. Decided to send it directly over to the back of the Lakers' defenses. Smart play from Torion. As she scores. 9-12 is your score. Lakers still up. But here's LeCompte. She's had a few runs in the first couple of sets. Won't happen this time, though. Set goes low. Here's the announcer's jinx again. Going in favor of the Lakers this time. That doesn't happen too often. Here's Grieve back to serve. Big service to the back row. Mariners make something from nothing, though. Natalie Bernard catches her own blocked hit. Tough break as Ava Grieve sends that over and out. That was great net front presence from the Mariners, but Natalie Bernard kept her head on a swivel and managed to keep that one in play. Unfortunately, the Mariners come away with the point, though. 10-13. As Torion serve gets to Haley. Natalie Bernard with the pass, and Lauren Haley will send it back. Here's Ingles over to Torion. Whippy, looking for the back row. Maddie Chisholm looking for Natalie Bernard. Nice work by Torion. Diving to keep that in play. There's Kamek, but Ava Grieve is there. Maddie Chisholm. Back to Ava Grieve. Solid play by Natalie Bernard. And I guess that wasn't considered a block because Lakers guilty of a fourth hit there. As Natalie Bernard fielded that. But I guess if it didn't hit the opponent and only hit the net, it's still considered you don't reset the hits, I guess. (12-13) now. As Mariners score again off a Torion serve. Another nice service from Torion. Lauren Haley with the diving play to keep that alive. Natalie Bernard looks for a space in the back row and finds it. Breaking up a little run from the visitors. 14-12 is your score. Lakers still ahead. They need this set to stay in the game. Here's Chisholm. Nice service from Chisholm. Whippy diving to keep that in play, but Lauren Haley is there. Gets it to Maddie Chisholm. Natalie Bernard looks cross court, but Torion keeps it alive. Ingles from the back row sends it, and that's going to fall out of bounds. Ava Grieve was there, but wisely let it go. 15-12. Well, you know what they say, discretion is the better part of valor. And Ava Grieve makes that pay off there. Service from Chisholm falls low. So 13-15 is your score. Lakers up by 2 here in this third set. Here's Tatum Fraser with a nice service. That's fielded by Lauren Haley. Maddie Chisholm gets it over to Haley. Haley can't quite send it at the right angle. And Mariners pulled it within 1. Here's Fraser again. Bad angle for Haley. As 15-15. We're all tied up. Fraser looking to pull ahead now. Take the first Fundy lead in quite some time. Haley gets that up. Messer sending it over to Maddie Chisholm for a third hit. As they get it over and the girls reset, Torion gets it over to Ingles, but nice work by Grieve keeping it alive. Maddie Chisholm over to Ava Grieve. Grieve with a powerful hit. That falls out of bounds, though. Tough break for the Lakers after a nice exchange. 16-15 is your score. Fundy has pulled ahead. There's Haley Messer. Gets it over to Maddie Chisholm. Natalie Bernard with a nice hit. Doesn't put quite as much power on that one. Lets it fall into the second level. We're all tied up at 16 now. As again, Bernard off of a hit. Scores and goes back to serve. 16-all is your score. There's a service from Bernard, fielded by Ingles. Nice work at the front of the net by Maddie Chisholm to send it directly over. Fundy had to scramble there. Got a third hit, but Ingles a little out of position. That catches the top of the net. So Lakers have regained the lead. As Natalie Bernard looks to score another one. Fielded by Libero McCullough. Torion from the set position. Ingles looking to the back row, but that's fielded nicely by Bernard. Ava Grieve sends it over. Torion setting up Whippy, but Bernard again with the pass. There's Chisholm sending it up. Lauren Peasy. Nice work by Peasy. Mariners anticipating a strong hit. Peasy adjusting and just gently popping that over the heads of the defenders and into the second level. So Lakers give themselves a little bit of breathing room, 18-16. It's Natalie Bernard looking to extend that lead. Fielded by Fraser. Torion with the set. Nice dive from Bernard. Kept it alive. But no friendly faces could get there in time. Tough break as we got 17-18 now. And Cheney checks in. Laconte. Darquise Laconte checks out. Kamek with the service. Riley DeMerchant will let that go out of bounds. 19-17 is your score. Here's DeMerchant. Had a little three-point run earlier in this third set. Looking to recapture some of that magic. There's Torion, puts it up. DeMerchant keeps it alive and sends it over. Ingles over to Torion. Whippy with the hit. Messer gets it over to Chisholm, and Ava Grieve with a big hit. Kept alive. as that's hit by Torion, usually in the setter's position. Lauren Peasy looking in the back row, but McCullough is there. Whippy sending it over to Cheney. DeMerchant keeps it alive. Maddie Chisholm puts it up, and Ava Greaves going to send it over. Nice movement from McCullough in the back. Big cross-court hit. They set up Ingalls nicely. Gave herself a bit of runway and sent it cross-court to score. 18-19 is your score. Mariners trail by 1. Francois Whippy is going to look to tie things up. Ball is up. Fielded by DeMerchant. That goes out of bounds, though. Might have been going out of bounds. Not quite sure. DeMerchant deciding to play it safe, but ultimately falls out of bounds. So we're all tied up here, 19-all. Another entertaining set from these two teams. Lauren Peasy with the set. Ava Grieve hit. That's going to fall just out of bounds. If it was out of bounds, it was just out of bounds. But Jack Roy and John Hamilton can see that better than I can. So the Mariners take a late lead here, 20-19. Whippy looks to score again. Haley Messer fielding over to Lauren Haley. And set might have been low for the intended recipient. Ava Grieve diving to send it over. We got a timeout called now as Mariners pulling ahead at just the wrong time if you're a Lakers fan. 21-19 is your score in favor of the visitors. And a reminder, this is the third set. Mariners took the first two. So Lakers need this win to stay alive as coaches DeMerchant and Messer will look to make some final arrangements for the girls heading into the end game. Big thanks to our minor officials tonight. Aaliyah Nestoruk is flipping things around on that scoreboard. Delaney McElwain has been checking all the right boxes on the score sheet. Fraternizing now with John Hamilton, keeping an eye on things from the far sideline as one of the referees. Our head referee, Jack Roy, has been keeping an eye on things. I've been calling it a chair, but it is not a chair. He is standing on just a little platform. Not much room to move around up there. Could do with a cup holder for some tea. Here we go, coming out of the timeout. It is Whippy maintaining the serve. We'll see what the Lakers have cooked up. Maddie Chisholm from the back row is going to get that over to Lauren Haley. Ava Grieve will send it over, but Whippy is there. Torion looking for the back row, but Haley Messer from the lib position gets that big hit from Ava Grieve. Kept alive nicely by Tatum Fraser. Another hit by Grieve. Tough break. Whippy got a hand on that in transit. I think Mae McCullough had already started her dive. Might have gotten there, but ball redirected, and the Lakers will take that one. So they got the first point coming out of the timeout. And here's Lauren Haley sending it directly over. Ingalls tight to the net. Looking for the big hit, but Haley Messer is there. Nice set from Maddie Chisholm. Ava Grieve sends it over. Whippy's response will fall out of bounds. So we're all tied up. Nice use of the timeout there by coaches Messer and DeMerchant. We check that out on the instant replay. That's shanked out of bounds by Ingalls. So Lakers on a three-point run at just the right time. And now it is the Fundy coaches calling the timeout. Looking to recapture some of that magic that the Lakers had coming out of there. That's Sylvie Whippy, I believe, calling the timeout, assisted by Julie Ingalls. Not sure which is which, but seeing as I assume that's Whippy who's talking to the girls there. Whippy is listed as the head coach. I'm going to assume that was her who made that timeout call. She's the one standing up. And the assistant coach, Julie Ingalls, I'm going to assume is the one working the bench. Lakers don't appear to have a hierarchy in the head coach. Tracy Messer and Tammy DeMerchant on equal footing. So Lakers rejecting the hierarchical power structures of a head and assistant coach. Here we go, coming out of the timeout, 22-21. Lakers need this. Lauren Haley with the nice service. There's Ingalls. Torion looking for the back row. Nice move by Messer, keeping that alive. But that will fall just on the wrong side of the net. And it goes over to the Mariners. 22 all. Crucial late stages of the game. Ball is on the hand of Meg Ingles. Haley Messer fields that nicely. Gets it over to Maddie Chisholm. And Ava Greaves sends it over. Tatum Fraser winding up for a hit. Nice net front block. Haven't seen too many of those from the Lakers. That comes at just the right time. Lauren Peasy getting hands up there. Now it's her going back to serve. 23-22. 2 points can win it here for the green and gold. Good start. That's fielded by McCullough. Torion with the set. Fraser will hit that over, but Peasy keeps it alive. Set from Maddie Chisholm, and tough break by the Lakers. Can't quite get there to hit the ball at the right time, and that will catch the top of the net. We're at 23 all, as it is Cheney passing the ball away. So yeah, it does look like Cheney checks out to allow Darquise LeConte, wearing number 15, to serve from the back row. Service from LeConte. Nice one. Fielded by Haley. Maddie Chisholm sends it back over, but LeConte with the diving play. Almost got it over, but not quite. Natalie Bernard there at the front of the net just to make sure it didn't. And that makes it 24-23. Ava Grieve has set point on her hands. We'll see if she can close this one out. Ingles fielding over to Torion. Chloe Connick gets it over. Natalie Bernard with the hit, but that's fielded nicely by McCullough. Haley Messer tries to keep it alive. Can't quite get there, though. No support can get there. So we're going into extra points, 24-24. But, of course, you do need to win by 2. So while the next scorer will hit 25, that will not be game over. Bea Torion needs 2 to put this away for the Mariners. Maddie Chisholm looks to deny her. There's the hit from Riley DeMerchant going cross court. Ingles fielded that, though, as Whippy looks for the back row. Haley Messer is there. Ava Grieve, bit of a misfire on that back row hit. And now it is set point, and game point, really. As with this, the Mariners can secure the outcome of tonight's sets. Bea Torion, that will hit the top of the net and just sneak over. With that, the score is 26-24. And Fundy High School from St. George has assured their victory tonight with 3 of the first, they've taken all 3 of these first sets. We'll play out the string here. Some very entertaining volleyball coming from both sides here in these final sets. Tough break for the Lakers, who led throughout a good chunk of that third set, but just couldn't finish it off. Lots to be proud of, but lots to work on as well. As the girls pretty wiped, they grab some water. Lakers running with only 8 players tonight. Fundy has a much larger bench at 11, able to rotate through, as we've seen them make good use of substitution. Lakers don't quite have that luxury. All right, we're back here in the David McMullen Gymnasium If you are just joining us, as you see from the scoreboard, the Mariners have secured tonight's victory. They've won the first 3 sets. First one quite handily by a score of 12-25. Lakers must have been asleep at the switch, but they woke up in a hurry for the second set and the third. Lakers losing the second set 22-25. The third set had to go into extra points, but ultimately the Mariners took it 26-24. So we'll play out the string. 4 sets to 20, at least 4 sets to 24. Fifth set may go to 15. We're not quite sure. Depends on how much homework these girls have to catch up on tonight, which I'm sure is 0. Here's Elise Cheney looking to get things started for the Mariners. Ball is up. That will fall short, so the Lakers get on the board first. It is Ava Grieve back to serve, and yeah, it does appear as if the Libs play 1 full game each. It's number 13, our mystery libero, back to serve. Oh, good recovery as Chisholm and Bernard try to keep that alive as the ball caught the top of the net. Unable to send it over on 3, though. So the Mariners take the point there. We've got Jeriel Sabino back to serve. That falls short, and the Lakers get it. Maddie Chisholm now. 2-1 is your score in favor of the Lakers. Here's Chisholm. Gets it over to Whippy. Sabino. Over to Koenig. Riley DeMerchant keeps it alive, and Natalie Bernard looks to send it over. Catches the top of the net, though, and falls on the Lakers' side. So it's number 8, Meg Ingles, getting the ball now. Ingles sends it over, but Haley Messer is there from the Lib position. Natalie Bernard sends that directly over. Caught by the Lib from Fundy. Madeline Boone looking for a hit. A bit of a misfire there. Falls out of bounds. And so the Lakers have the lead again. Here's Natalie Bernard. Fielded by Boone. Goes directly over. Lauren Peasy's there at the front of the net. But Sabino keeps it alive. That's Natalie Bernard who sends it over. Sabino over to Kamek. That's Grieve and Bernard double teaming that. Lauren Peasy with a nice dive. That will score. Nice work by the Lakers scrambling there. I don't think that's how they drew it up, but they'll take the point. As we have our first repeat serve of this fourth set. Natalie Bernard gets the ball. Your score is 4-2. She looks to make it 5. It won't happen here, though. There's another announcer's jinx. Sorry about that, as the Mariners will take the point. 4-3 is your score. Chloe Kamek looks to tie things up. Service is up. Haley Messer gets that from the back row. Maddie Chisholm setting up Lauren Peasy, but nice move by Kamek. Playing that from the deck. Mariners send it over, and they tie things up. Here's Kamek again. Gets ready to serve. Ball is up. Grieve fields that. Chisholm over to Lauren Peasy, but we've got a whistle. Someone touched the net, I suppose. Missed the call. It happened mid-play, I was thinking. I don't know. Coach, I believe that's Sylvie Whippy, making some kind of reaching motion. So maybe it was touching the net. Mariners a little overzealous in their defense. While we've been musing, the Lakers have scored another one. Riley DeMerchant has the ball. 6-4 is your score. It's fielded by Whippy. Sabino gets that. And a bit of miscommunication there. Not quite sure which Mariner was going to go for it. They have a few dangerous hitters, but no one committed there. And so DeMerchant gets another serve. Her team up by 3. There's Whippy over to Sabino. And it is Cheney with the hit. Messer to Chisholm and out of play on the Lakers side. Here's Françoise Whippy back to serve. Ball is up. Haley Messer has that. Gets it over to Riley DeMerchant. Alice McDonald will send that over. Oh. Bit of confusion there. A couple of Mariners on that first hit. Whippy diving to try to keep that in play. Can't quite send it over, though, and so it is the Lakers up. 8-5 is your score as Alice McDonald will send it over. Fielded by the libero. Sabino gets that, and Cheney will send that over. There's the set from Maddie Chisholm. Ava Grieve looks to hit that into next week. Hits the bleachers instead, though. So that point will go to the Mariners. 8-6 is your score. Lakers still ahead. As Madeline Boone looks to bring her team back up to 7. Lauren Peasy gets it over, fielded by Boone. Sabino over to Cheney, who sends it over to DeMerchant. Maddie Chisholm passing to Ava Grieve. Grieve's hit catches the little red and white bar that's up at the edges of each net. And you can't do that. So Mariners pulled to within 1. Lauren Peasy with the diving play keeps it alive. Alice McDonald will send it over on the third hit. Hit from Ingalls, but we've got a whistle. Double hit on the Mariners side. So the Lakers take that 9-7. Here's Peasy with the service. Fielded low from Whippy. Ava Grieve gets that over to Chisholm. Sets up Natalie Bernard looking in the back row, but the lib is there. Hit from Ingalls. Riley DeMerchant saves that at the far corner. Natalie Bernard sends it on the third hit, but Whippy is there. Sabino with the set. Ingalls sends it over. Lauren Peasy over to Maddie Chisholm. Alice McDonald will send that over from the back row. Here's Sabino sending it over. Cheney gets that, but Riley DeMerchant keeps it alive again. Nice behind-the-back move from Natalie Bernard to send it over. Sabino over to Whippy. Whippy will send it. Alice McDonald looking directly over. Doesn't quite clear the net, though. And after that extended rally, it is the Mariners who will score. We have our usual substitution. Darquise LeConte is in, and Elise Cheney is out. Okay, I'm actually going to keep an eye on this, and we'll see if LeConte is in for 3 rotations. I don't remember seeing her at the front of the net yet this game. No, she just comes in for the service and checks out for the lib. Over to Ava Grieve now. 10-8 is your score. Maddie Boone fielding that. Ingalls sends it over. Natalie Bernard setting things up for Maddie Chisholm. Usually the other way around. Little roll reversal for the green and gold. No roll reversal there as Meg Ingalls has been making those cross-court hits all night. She does it again. And as has often been the case, she will score for her squad. Mariners have pulled to within 1. As Aaliyah Nestoruk shows both coaches that score, aided by Delaney McElwain, our minor officials for the evening. Natalie Bernard at the front of the net, sent it directly over. Mariners with a quick response, rather. Riley DeMerchant can't quite get there in time, and so the Mariners have tied things up 10-10. As here is the service from Sabino. Maddie Chisholm looks to set up Natalie Bernard. A bit more traditional this time. Actually, Maddie Chisholm typically takes the setter's role for the Lakers. Mariners starting setter Bea Torion taking a well-earned break, wearing number 16. Not sure if that's a number thing where the setters have to wear the higher numbers. It would be a lot simpler if the sport were to just number you by position. Be a novel idea. But I guess they left that idea on the cutting room rug. Be that as it may, girls are numbered, and the numbers favor the Mariners at this point. They've pulled ahead, 12-11. Here's Maddie Chisholm setting up Natalie Bernard, but Ingalls is there to keep it alive. Sabino looking for Maddie Boone. Boone with the nice hit. Messer can't quite get there in time. Mariners have pulled ahead by 2 now, as Torian is checking back in, wearing number 16, and expect to see her on a lot of those second hits. Here's Ingles. Sends that over. Haley Messer fielding. Maddie Chisholm gets it up. Riley to Merchant looking cross court, but Ingles is there with the direct response. Nice scramble there from the Lakers. Ava Grieve did get it over, but there must have been a fourth hit in there somewhere that I didn't quite catch. I guess if it just touches the net and no defender, the hits do not reset. So good heads-up play and reactive play from the Lakers, but that time it won't quite count. Alice McDonald to DeMerchant, back to McDonald, who sends it over. That does fall out of bounds, though, and gives the Mariners their largest lead of this fourth set. Girls may be running out of steam on the Lakers side, as we mentioned, dealing with a very short bench. Here's Ingles, gets that over to Messer. Chisholm setting up Natalie Bernard, but that's responded directly by Ingles. Another set, this time to Riley DeMerchant, but Ingles is there again. There's Sabino getting it over to Kamek. DeMerchant looking cross court. Ingles still there. There's Sabino. Can't quite get there in time for Torian. As the Lakers break this up, they're up 12-15. Natalie Bernard back to serve now. Gets it to the lib. Maddie Boone. Torian sends it over. Ava Grieve keeps it alive, though. Maddie Chisholm on the second hit. Lauren Peasy sends it to the back corner. Saved by the lib. Number 13, our mystery girl for Fundy. Natalie Bernard from the back row. That hits, I don't know what that is. Something hanging from the ceiling. Looks like it's kind of in front of a speaker. Right near the basketball net. Haven't seen that move. Didn't even know that was there. Natalie Bernard reminding us. 12-16 is your score in favor of the Mariners. Service from Kamek is up. Riley DeMerchant fielding. Maddie Chisholm setting things up for Lauren Peasy, but Sabino fields that. The set from Ingles. It's Torian with the hit. A bit of a role reversal from the Lakers. Alice McDonald will send that. Maddie Boone with the big hit, but Ava Grieve is there. Maddie Chisholm setting things up for Riley DeMerchant. Kamek from the back row keeps it alive. Sabino over to Whippy. Ava Grieve is there. Maddie Chisholm keeps it alive. Lauren Peasy looking for the corner. Nice dig from Chloe Kamek, who gets back in position quickly. Haley Messer over to Chisholm. DeMerchant looking for the hit, but Ingles keeps that alive. Boone with the big hit, and that will end this extended rally. 17-12 is your score in favor of the Mariners. Starting to pull ahead here in this fourth set. Great extended play, though, from both sides. Service is up from Kamek. Haley Messer has that. Maddie Chisholm at the front of the net. Over to Lauren Peasy, who sends it over. It looked like it might have been a broken play. But nice work from the Lakers to keep it alive and ultimately take the point. 13-7 is your score. Riley DeMerchant back to serve. Fielded by the lib. Almost goes out of bounds. Torian diving into the bench to make that play. Almost colliding with who I assume is assistant coach Julie Ingles. Lakers score, I believe that should be 14-17. Might have had a miscount on the scoreboard. I could be wrong, though. Lakers get that over on Lauren Peasy's third hit. Maddie Boone electing for the gentle touch this time, but Alice McDonald is ready to Chisholm to Grieve to send it over. Set up from Cheney. Gets it to Torian. Torian's hit doesn't quite clear the net. So 14-18 is your official score. Here's DeMerchant again. Fielded by Boone. And at the front of the net, that's Sabino. Can't quite send it. Also guilty of a double hit, I suppose. So 15-18. Riley DeMerchant looking to make a bit of a run and get things tied back up. We've had exciting finishes the last couple sets. Oh, nice salvage there from the Lakers as Messer and Chisholm had a couple of low hits. Grieve coming in for the third contact, but can't quite angle it over. So 15-19 is your score. So the Mariners look to extend that. Nice service from Torion. Maddie Chisholm catches that over to Haley Messer. And Lakers send it over. Maddie Boone with a bit of an awkward hit. Hit that behind her head and couldn't quite get the angle. That shanks out of bounds and will score one for the Lakers. 16-19 is your score. Alice McDonald back to serve. Wearing number 2 for the green and gold. That gets over to Ingles. Short side. Sabino looking for a hit from Cheney. That will catch the top of the net and fall out of bounds. Or fall on the Mariners side, rather. Sorry, I ran out of tea a few points ago, so this may go off the rails in the 5th set. We'll try to keep it together up here. 18-19. Lakers have pulled to within 1. Here's McDonald again. Looking to tie things up. Won't happen this time. That catches the top of the net. And the ball will go to Madeline Boone, wearing number 2 in the blue and white. So from 2-2. 20-18 is your score. Big service from Boone, fielded by Alice McDonald. Riley DeMerchant gets it to Maddie Chisholm. That will not clear the net, though. Lauren Peasy also had a bit of a touch there, trying to help that over, but will not make it. Here's Boone again. Her team up by 3 in the late stages of this 4th set. Nice move by Grieve to send it over. Mariners pinball that around and send it out of bounds. So 19-21 is your score with Peasy back to serve. If you're just joining us, you can see on the scoreboard there, the Mariners have secured the victory in the first 3 sets. So the results of this evening are not in question. Girls just playing it out, giving us some entertaining rallies. Nice hit from Bernard. Diving play from our mystery libero, number 13, and Fundy. Can't quite get that. So Lauren Peasy looking to tie things up now. 20-21. Service is up. There's Cheney, gets it over to Sabino. Hit from Ingles will just make it. Nice play by Natalie Bernard at the front of the net to get that over. Hit from Grieve is fielded by the Mariners and sent. Peasy from the back row over to Chisholm. Natalie Bernard looking for the back, but that's saved by Madeline Boone. Sabino gets it over to Ingles, but Bernard sends it up. Chisholm with the set. Ava Grieve looks to hit that. That's blocked at the front of the net by Elise Cheney, wearing number 3. And having done her net front work, she will make the rotation, and it is indeed Darquise Lecomte going back to take her service. So, Mariners employ not only 2 liberos, but also this kind of service to front row substitution setup. Working out well. As coaches Whippy and Ingles clearly using the bench, their long bench, to their advantage, putting players in positions to succeed. Darquise Lecomte back to serve. Her team up 23-20. So with a little run, could put this away. Alice McDonald has something to say about that, though. There's Natalie Bernard with the hit, fielded by Ingles. Back to Ingles for the back row hit. Haley Messer can't quite handle that. And your score is now 24-20. Lecomte looks to put things away. Lecomte with the nice service. McDonald to Chisholm. Ava Grieve will send that over, but Boone fields it. Lecomte sends it up. Ingles with the hit. Match point on the hands of the Mariners. And just as soon as it is, I've said it, it's over. Chloe Kamek with that game-deciding block. And Fundy has taken this 4th set as well by a score of 25-20. Tough break for the Lakers, who have been very much in these last 3 sets. Back and forth affairs. Could have gone either way, but the ball just not falling on their side, or it is falling on their side of the court, rather, too often. All right, here they come. If you're just tuning in, thanks so much for joining us at the tail end of this matchup between the Senior Girl Lakers and the Fundy Mariners, coming at us all the way from St. George to play tonight in the David McMullen Gymnasium. They're not going to leave empty-handed. Smiles on their faces and a victory in their pockets. They've taken all 4 sets tonight, although that shouldn't make it sound like it's been easy pickings. They did take the first set by a score of 25-12 quite handily, but the next 3 were all much more closely contested by the Lakers. Fundy winning set 2 25-22, set 3 26-24, and the most recent set number 4, by a score of 25-20. Lakers, with a significantly shorter bench, they've dressed 8 tonight. Fundy has brought 11. So we'll see if they play the full 25 or just a 15. Not quite sure what the agreement is. Nice back and forth affair. It is Natalie Bernard with the block hit combination. Not sure which one you'd call that at the front of the net. Either way, Lakers on the board first as Ava Grieve gets another service. Snuck over there by Torion. Madison Chisholm gets the hit, but Chloe Kamek with the block sends it up and makes it playable. Big cross-court hit from Torion, falls out of bounds. So Grieve scores again. It is Grieve again, sending that. Boone sends it all the way up. Will she score a basket? I don't think so. I don't have a great angle up here, judging by the reaction from the stands. I don't think they did. They seemed a little disappointed. Either way, as soon as it hits that basketball net, the ball is out of play. So the Lakers score that one. 3-1 is your score now after that service from Ava Grieve goes out of bounds. Still a decent start to this fifth and final set of the evening. Bea Torion back to serve. That's fielded by Messer. DeMerchant looking to serve, and Natalie Bernard will send that over. Torion over to Tatum Fraser for the hit. Ava Grieve diving to try to keep that in play. Can't quite get under it, though, as the Mariners will score 3-2. 3-2 for the Lakers is your current score. Torion with the nice service. Lauren Haley's going to field that. Maddie Chisholm gets it over to Ava Grieve. Looking for the back row. Maddie Boone over to Torion. There's a big hit from Darquise Laconte. I guess she does play in the front row. That's been my mistake. Either way, it's the Lakers taking the point, though. 4-2 is your score. Riley DeMerchant's service. One-handed hit from Torion. Does get it to libero May McCullough, but that will go out of bounds. So DeMerchant again getting up to serve. Boone with the diving play to keep that in. Torion gets it over to Fraser. Natalie Bernard on the second hit there. And Riley DeMerchant will send it over. Found a soft spot as Madeline Boone couldn't get there in time. 6-2 in favor of the Lakers. So they look to take an early lead on this fifth set. Riley DeMerchant with the service. That's over to Tatum Fraser. Bea Torion kept it alive as it looks like it might have been a broken play. Got a second hit on it after it rolled down on the net, but unfortunately no Mariners there to play it. So 7-2 is your score. It's DeMerchant's service again. Chloe Kamek gets that hit. Lauren Haley kept it alive in the second row, but no one could get there in time in a green jersey. As we see there on the instant replay, noble effort from Ava Grieve. So 3-7 is your score in favor of the Lakers. Maddie Chisholm gets it over to Riley DeMerchant. Fielded by McCullough, but we've got a whistle. Lakers guilty of coming over the net, potentially. As we got the arm going straight up and then falling down at a right angle. So, looks like it's up and over. I'm going to call that over the net, in the absence of any real authority. 4-7 is your score in favor of the Lakers. There's Fraser, gets it over to Merchant. Maddie Chisholm, bit of misdirection, sends it directly over. Chisholm usually in the setter's position, so 4-8 is the score now. Not sure if the scoreboard is updating or not. But Natalie Bernard back to serve. That will catch the top. Might have to go in and change things manually. 5-8 is your score. Got Chloe Kamek looking to pull back. Doesn't quite get it there, though, as that service falls. So 5-9 is the Lakers' lead. If we're playing a 15, Lakers got to be happy with this lead. Here's Maddie Chisholm. That will sneak over. I think the Mariners had given up on that one. Nice work by Chisholm to sneak that up and over. So 10-5 is your score, as we see there on the instant replay. Big thanks to Ashton Little and Austin Jameson, who have been our tech crew for this evening. Good second effort by Boone, keeping that alive. Chisholm got there, but her play will fall just on the Lakers' side of the line. So the Mariners take the point. 6-10 is your score. Darquise Lecomte back to serve. There's a service there, fielded by DeMerchant. That goes up for Peasy. Ava Grieve looking for a cross-court hit, but she played that well out of bounds, and the call is out of bounds there before the ball even hit the ground. So I'm going to say, I guess you can't make the third hit from out of bounds, potentially. Lecomte gets that over. DeMerchant fields it to Chisholm, who gets it over to Ava Grieve. Here's Cheney looking for the back row. Messer has that. DeMerchant with the set. Nice work by Ava Grieve. Sent it just to the right of the Mariners' defense and fell just on their side of the net. Here's Lauren Haley looking to extend an 11-7 lead. Good work at the front of the net from Ava Grieve. Haley gets it to Maddie Chisholm, who sends it over. Here's Torion with the second hit. Cheney sends it to the back row, but Maddie Chisholm passing up to Riley DeMerchant. Lauren Peasy with the hit. That falls out of bounds. And the Mariners will take that point. 8-11 they trail. Here's Boone. He's had a few strong services this game. Lauren Haley from the back row gets it over to Haley Messer. Maddie Chisholm sends it over, misses the rafters there. Ball still in play. Cheney looks for the back row, but Messer doesn't let her have it. Lauren Peasy getting it over to Ava Grieve. This hit falls inbounds. Let's see that on the instant replay. Nice pass by Peasy, and the big hit by Ava Grieve. Here we go. Lauren Peasy back to serve. Her team up by 4. Nice dive from McCullough, keeping that alive. Torion keeping her head in the game, able to play that and keep it alive. Another hit by Ava Grieve. This one fielded by Lecomte. Lauren Peasy let that go. That was dangerous, but it did fall out of bounds. Peasy's seen a lot of volleyball. I know she does play in a club outside of school, so gets volleyball all season long. Has the trained eye for those kinds of things. Oh, nice misdirection by Torion. Came across. She's had a few sets in motion, but she will send that over directly instead. So we have a change in personnel. Meg Ingalls back to serve. Fundy down 9-13. Ooh. Ball catches the back of Chloe Kamek's head. Took that like a champ. I think she showed less reaction to getting hit than Chris Rock. 15-9 is your score. We're continuing to play. So Lakers up by 6, but we're going to 25. So still lots of volleyball left to play in this 5th set. Lecomte sends that directly over and out of bounds. So Grieve will get another service. Already has a nice 3-point run to start the 5th set. Looks to put a bit more breathing room between them and the Mariners. Natalie Bernard at the front of the net. Ultimately falls to her side, but she keeps it alive and sends it over. Here's Lecomte back to Bernard. DeMerchant with the setup. Maddie Chisholm will send it over. Good heads-up play by Torion, keeping it alive. Some spinning plays. We've got Mariners on the deck. I believe we're running out of battery from the computer. Is the computer plugged in? Or so? Oh, it's the camera that's not plugged in. Sorry, we'll try to make sure we maintain video through the end of this fifth set. 17-9 is your score after some extended rallies. Torion with another back corner hit. She's picked that corner nicely throughout the evening here in the David Mullen Gymnasium. These Mariners been a tough squad. I guess the Mariners know how to navigate the lake. There's some kind of pun in there that I'm too tired to make right now. But if you've got a good head for puns, or just like talking to yourself on headset during a sports game, we'd love to have you up here in the booth. And yeah, looks like we need to change the battery. We may lose video. We'll try to keep the audio going to finish off this game. 12-7 is your score. Here's Torion. That serve catches the top of the net, so 18-12 is your score, as we're going to go try to get the second camera, so please bear with us. Thank you for staying tuned in. Here's service from Riley DeMerchant, fielded by Fraser. Sent up and over by Chloe Kamek. I guess we're going back to our radio roots here, or my radio roots, as your score is 13-18 in favor of the Lakers. Tatum Fraser back to serve. Her team down by 5. There's a strong low service. Gets over the top of the net and splits defenders Lauren Haley and Haley Messer. 14-18 is your score now. Tatum back to serve again. Ball is up. Another nice no serve, but that's fielded nicely by Messer. Maddie Chisholm sends it over from the front of the net. Here is Torion with the big hit. That's blocked at the net front by Natalie Bernard. Maddie Boone was looking for a hit. There's Riley DeMerchant playing it up to Bernard. Blocked up front by Kamek. Gets it back to Torion. Kamek sends it over. Ava Grieve over to Riley DeMerchant now. Maddie Chisholm sends it back. Madeline Boone got a hand on that, but that rolls out of bounds, so the Lakers take the point. 19-14. Again, thank you for bearing with us as we run downstairs to get the camera. Second camera, rather. As the battery here has failed us. It's Natalie Bernard back to serve for the Lakers. Serving from about the middle of the court. Sends it over. Maddie Boone directly back to the Lakers. Ava Grieve from mid-court. Riley DeMerchant with the set. Lauren Peasy sends it to McCullough. Over to Torion. Boone sneaks it over the net. Lauren Peasy is there, but can't quite get there in time as that rolls over the top of the net a bit and falls down to her left. Tough break for the Lakers. 15-19 is your score. Lakers up by 4, rather. Kamek back to serve. Service is high. Falls on the Mariners' side of the net as Elise Cheney gets out of the way of that falling ball. So 15-20, it's Maddie Chisholm going back to serve. Also serving from the center of the court. Sends the ball over. That falls short to Maddie Boone. Torion sends it up. LeConte with a big hit. That goes out of bounds. And the Lakers take that point 21-15. Maddie Chisholm goes back to serve again. Big thanks to Ashton Little for keeping that score up. And Austin Jameson for grabbing the second camera. Ball falls over on the Mariners side. So the Lakers take the point 22-15. Torion couldn't get there in time. Maddie Chisholm again from the middle of the court looks to serve. Sends it up and over, but that catches the top of the net and falls out. So 22-16 is the score. It is Darquise LeConte, her also serving from the middle of the court. Bouncing up and down a few times. Sends the ball up for a jump serve. That falls right in the middle of the court, right between Lauren Peasy and Haley Messer. Peasy playing up front, Messer in the lib position back. So, nice drop by LeConte. Here comes another big jump serve. This one goes wide and out of bounds. LeConte has a lot of power, but has put the ball out of bounds a few times this evening. It happens again for the Lakers. So here's Lauren Haley back to serve. Also serving from the center of the court. gets it over. Tatum Fraser fields over to Torian at the front of the net. Maddie Boone with a big hit on the close side of the court. That falls out of bounds on the right. And so it is the Lakers with set point on the hands of Lauren Haley. Check that, Lauren Haley. Fielded by the Mariners, but can't quite send it over. So Lakers will end on a high note. Final score of this fifth set is 25-17. Thanks so much for joining us. And I believe with the second camera, I think we'll just go directly to our credit screen. Remember to tune in next week, Monday at 6 p.m., as the junior girls take on the Fundy JV squad. Thanks so much for tuning in. Big thanks again to Ashton Little and Austin Jameson for their work on the technical side. Aaliyah Nestoruk and Delaney McElwain were our minor officials. Head referee Jack Roy and referee John Hamilton kept an eye on things. Big thanks to Coach Sylvie Whippy and Julie Ingalls for bringing the girls down from St. George. And congrats to Tammy DeMerchant and Tracy Messer on that fifth set victory and a well-fought game overall. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll go to our credits screen, and we'll catch you again on Monday.